And so we're going to say hello and welcome to Kickstart Day 2. Now, this is Day 2, Take 2. So I'm just going to say, I did not know, you guys, that my Zoom account had a limit to how many people could come in. And so some of you who are on here tried and tried this morning to join us, and I'm very sorry. We discovered halfway through that there was a limit to the number of people who could join us. So I fixed that limit, and we decided to just do it all over again, because there's nothing quite like a live experience for crafting, right, Karen?
Yes. And we just wanted to thank you guys for being such a caring community. This is our first time doing this, and there's always these things that we learn, and tech always, changes and does this. And, just one more thing, we had no idea to even think about checking. So we just appreciate you going with the flow with us. That's really what creativity is all about, right? So thanks. Thank you from us.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and share our slides.
First of all, at some point, I would love to see a show of hands, Holly, of just who's here for a second round. Sometime when we're showing the whole thing. Yeah. It would be really fun.
Yeah, when you know what? Let me just pause the slides really quick.
So just be fun to see, but first timers versus those of you that came back for more, I think, because you'll see more cards.
It's easy enough to go back and forth. So, all right. So who's here for a second time? Raise your hand.
That is so fun.
So we are glad that you're back. I see in the comments a couple of people are back, and that's totally fine. So
fun. Welcome everyone.
All right.
And then you patient ones that tried to get in the first time and couldn't. And I know, thank you for not giving up on us.
Yes, we are glad that you're back for a second time. And for those of you on the replay, I did see a few messages that actually neither of the times we've done today would have worked for you. So we're glad that you're here watching on the replay too. So we will actually be sharing both replays. So because we're going to have you, there's going to be a time when you can share your cards today. And so the cards that you'll see in the first replay will be different from the cards that you see in this replay. So we thought we're going to record all of this so that you guys can see the replay for all of it. So here we are for Kickstart Day 2. But before we jump into the adventure we have for you today, we have to look back for a second at yesterday, because we were talking about, well, this whole week we're talking about why we want to be creative, but we specifically asked you yesterday to share some of your whys. So why do you want to be creative? Why do you want to grow in this? And we just wanted to share a few of those comments with you. So Kathy said that she likes making cards, and it's a way that she can talk to people and let them know that they're thought of. It's such a great way to reach out to people, more than just, a text message or a Facebook message. We can send these handmade cards as well. And then Marilyn said she wants to use the talent that God has given her to make others happy. I create to share and hope the recipient enjoys it as much as I enjoy making art and cards. And I love that. And I love that we both get joy, don't we? Like, we get the joy of making the card, and they get the joy of the receiving of the card. So it's kind of double joy. And then Betsy said she loves thinking that she's making people smile when they receive her cards, especially the foster kids and elderly that receive her cards. It gives purpose and meaning to my card making hobby. So absolutely, knowing the impact that we can have on people. That was one of those things that we talked about yesterday. And then Ethel said, my church has a saying, we're blessed to be a blessing. I lead a small group of ladies making cards to send out to those who need encouragement. We bless others through these cards, and I am blessed by the fellowship and friendship of these ladies. I love to make cards and to challenge myself to improve my skills. I mean, Ethel right there, she summarized day 1 for you guys. It's all about the community that we grow as we craft together, the friendships that we make with other crafting people, the skills that we can learn, the challenges we can bring and growth to ourselves while we're crafting. Ethel, this was a great summary right here. And then finally from Susan, she said, it gives me a chance to inspire and teach others as I learn and grow myself. Create something that will bring a smile to someone's face. We all need happy mail in our lives. Some days it's about enjoying the journey and not worrying about the destination. A great way to escape from the stress of day-to-day life. And that is just so true. You know, we all have a lot happening in our life, and escaping to the craft room can be a wonderful distraction from other things that are happening. So, and then Karen, I know you shared a really neat saying that somebody had
This
about
was Barbara
passion.
Pike, and Holly and I both said we were going to take this. What a perfect description. Sometimes when you can just say something in a few words that just stick with you and says a lot. So thank you, Barbara Pike. She said, cards are my passion, smiles are my mission.
Yeah.
It just says a lot right there. So I just love it. I just love all of this, what we get to do with this. And
Yeah, I love that. I feel like that should be a bumper sticker.
yeah, yeah.
It's just such a perfect saying. So, excuse me. Oh, I gotta take a drink. Too much talking today. So, well, in this was one of the challenges that we issued for you. So we chose, see if I can get this to go to the next slide. There we, oops, one too far. So we chose some winners from those of you who shared your challenge with the hashtag Creative Cards Kickstart. We chose 10 people. And after this Kickstart, we are going to send you Happy Mail. So we have your addresses because you provided those when you registered. That's why we asked for them, so that we can send you some Happy Mail. And you'll see here just kind of a little sampling of where some of you guys are from. So we've added the state or the country where somebody is from. So the winners are Betsy Cousins Coleman, Susan Grooms, Ethel King, Kathy Soch, Mickey Matos, Sharon Wynn, Kathy Winters, Marilyn Amons, Beth Strickland, and Dawn Davis. So apologies for butchering your names. It's always a guessing game when you see somebody's name written down. But for those of you who are listed here, we'll send you some Happy Mail. And we have more challenges coming, so stay tuned, because we will have more challenges for you guys to win more prizes. So our other challenge yesterday was about doing a card makeover. Do you want to talk about this, Karen?
Yeah. And before that, I didn't jump in quick enough, but I just wanted to say a delightful comment from Pat Foyer, who was on here. When we think of that last challenge with a hashtag, she put, today at age 78 was the first time I ever posted anything with a hashtag. You ladies are definitely challenging me. And I love that because it just shows we're always learning new things. And so if you have questions, because I know there were a few comments like, how do I post something with a hashtag? Ask them and we'll answer them. But I thought, this is just so fun that we're all just taking new steps together and doing that. So I think that's fun. Okay, so going back to what was I going to do? Just show this card? Okay. Oh, choose your card. Okay. Choose a card and change it. Yes.
So we're gonna share some cards that people posted. So do you have the bird card handy?
I do. I have that too. Let's see. I have to change my view. This is so interesting because there's just so much to learn.
Well, it's going to be small no matter what, Karen. So we can see your
yeah,
card.
but I don't see me. I only see the thing. So I have it on the wrong thing. So all of you just play around, and figure out what
just click
side by side speaker, side by side gallery. Okay, now I can see people. Okay, so I can at least tell that I'm putting it up.
Yep, forward. There we go. We see it.
We took this, and Holly and I are stunned by all the ideas that you guys found to change things. So this is just hilarious. So she's going to show just a few, but you're going to want to, if you're in the group, look at that. But of course, if you're on YouTube and don't do Facebook, that's fine too. Send us yours, because reply to the email that we send out and shares yours. But it is just so fun to see everyone's take on these.
Yeah, and so be sure you go back and watch the first replay, because you will see how we talked about choosing a card, changing three things, and making it your own. And we listed a ton of ideas that you guys gave in the comments yesterday of how you might take Karen's bird card here and change it up. So we wanted to show a few of those people. We couldn't share all of your cards because there were so many of them. So also go look at the challenge post in the Quick Start Facebook group, and you can see more of these cards posted there. So this one was made by Kathy Doyle, and we listed here, she told us what she changed. So she embossed the card base here, the background. She turned the orientation of the card, added the baker's twine, and used the die cut as the focal point. And I love the way that she did the twine here with the unique way that she wrapped it. Then we've got a card by Sherry Sutter. She also changed the orientation, and then she switched over to a square and actually layering layers of squares. And then she embossed the sentiment and moved it around as well. So fun, different version. A card from Gwen Cooper. She also changed the orientation. That was a popular one that you guys did. She added a mat to the front of her card, so you can see there that kind of orange cardstock. And then she changed the focal point from a circle to a rectangle. So, and then also with the die cut here too. And then the last one that we have here is from Beverly Trabanello, and she layered the card front. She used an oval, so we've got all sorts of different shapes you guys are using, and then also embossed the strip across the front of the card. So even just with these 4 ideas, you can see that there's so many ways that you can change 3 things and make a card your own. So you could do this again and again. You could take Karen's bird card or any card, and you could change 3 things and make a card, and then do it again. And you'll have 3 different things you can change, because it's really never ending, the creativity that you can do.
I always think that this is the easiest to do with pick a card you love that is a fairly simple card, because it's easier to look at it and think of changes. You don't get too deep in the weeds. You can always keep adding and embellishing. So that's always fun. And I just like to say a couple more things about that. I forgot to say this, I think, at the beginning, but Lori Brown and maybe a couple of others, but she called us, she's enjoying this Spot the Difference challenge. And I just thought that was a great name. What did we call it? Create a card makeover. But I also love that, spot the difference, because it's kind of like a game we're playing. You got to think of the difference, and when you're looking at a card, you spot the difference. So I want to do a shout out. And then I wanted to share 3 quick things that just described to me the power of what we were doing yesterday. Mary Jean said, "Mine did not turn out the way I envisioned, just morphed along the way to completion." And I love that description. That is creativity. We are working and designing and kind of letting things flow. I just love that. Eileen said, "I know there's more than 3, but once I got started, I couldn't help myself." Isn't that awesome? And then Connie Oxman said, "I challenged myself to not get up to find any supplies. Only took what was on my desk. So I used an old card front, brown paper from a recycled paper bag, scraps from my stash, and a leftover die cut sitting on my table." So such fun ways of approaching creativity. That's why we just love encouraging you to all to just see what fits you and just have fun with us.
Absolutely. And I thought it was really fun too when we shared our cards yesterday of what we changed. You guys noticed things that changed that I didn't even realize I changed. So that was fun too, just to see, as we're spotting the differences, seeing things that I didn't even realize that we had made changes to. So it was really fun to see that.
Makes me think of the games we play with our grandkids. What can you spot? And thinking, boy, we're doing this in our own creativity with cards. And I just think how so many things work on so many levels. And I think that's just pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, the I Spy.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Yes, I Spy.
Yeah, I spy something different here. So, well, we chose some winners. We wish we could send everybody Happy Mail, but we've chosen 10 of you for the card makeover that we'll be sending Happy Mail prizes to. So we've got Deb Ludwig, Krista Smith, Kathy Doyle, Gwen Cooper, Beverly Trabonello, Sherry Sutter, Lynn Schleitweiler, Nadine Barnhart, Holly Marino, and Deborah Ramos. So congratulations to you guys. We'll get you some Happy Mail after the kit starts over. Any other comments, Karen, from yesterday before we move on to today?
I just want to say, you guys, I am so thrilled. I just looked, we have 115 participants, and we debated because, you know, you do pay more. Somebody says, do you pay? We do. And we debated because we had the limit of 100 and we're going, I don't think on a second round we would get 100 was my thought. And Holly said, no, let's up it just in case. You guys are over the top and we love you. So I just thought that's just so fun. So glad we did that.
Yeah, absolutely. So for day 2, we gave you a supply list. It was posted a couple of days ago, and it's also been in your emails. But just a reminder, as we, I've got a few slides to go through here first. But this was our supply list for today. We're going to be using these pieces here in just a few minutes, and we are calling this our mystery stamping adventure. So, what in the world is mystery stamping? Or really, what is our version of mystery stamping? Because people do this so differently. So, what we're going to do is we are giving you measurements for your paper to have on hand, but we are not going to show you a sample card ahead of time. We're going to walk you through step by step how to or what to put on next on your card. So you'll hear the directions without seeing the sample. And just like playing the game of telephone when we were kids, you just never know what's going to come out at the end. So part of this is we really want it to be fun. We don't want this to be stressful. We want it to be a fun way to remove the pressure of perfection. Because a lot of times we want our cards to be just perfect, you know, have everything in just the right spot, just like the person showing you a card. But instead, we're going to take that barrier away because you're not going to know what's coming. So we're making it a safe place for you to try new things. And so you could try new colors, new patterns, and just see where your creativity takes you today. It's just our version of mystery stamping.
Our version just might be the simplest one you've ever done because we just have 3 or 4 steps, you know. But I just love starting with the basics, and you'll just find yourself, you know, this is so simple and so fun, and it gives you just a good base of where you could go on from. So I think it's just amazing to be doing this together.
Yeah. But, you know, this whole time we're trying to talk about being more creative and growing in our creativity. So I know for me, I was wondering, well, how does this help us be more creative? So Karen and I brainstormed 3 reasons why mystery stamping or how mystery stamping can help you be more creative. So you might notice we really like threes here. We chose 3 days, 3 ways to be more creative. We used 3 embellishments on our cards. We changed 3 things. And now we're going to give you 3 reasons why mystery stamping will help you be more creative. So the first one is thinking on your feet. So when I say adhere your cardstock to your card base, well, you have to think on your feet and figure out, well, where am I going to put it? What am I going to adhere it with? You know, what color am I using? All of that sort of thing, because you don't have a visual guide. So we're going to help you think on your feet through this exercise. And then Karen, what's our second one?
Building confidence and intuition. And I always love to start by saying, you cards don't need to turn out. This is about the journey today, the process. Sometimes we are surprised and delighted by what turns out. Sometimes we're dismayed. It's all good. It's all learning. It's all the journey. And I just think you get more confident because you're learning, you're kind of creating on the fly and learning to trust your imagination and then just seeing where it goes and realizing, oh, this is kind of how I interpret things. This is my, you know, it's coming from inside you. It's just a fun thing to do.
Yeah. And lastly, it's about playfulness and imagination. So as you can tell, Karen and I like to have fun, and we really want to keep it fun and light for you. And so mystery stamping can make for a fun experience without worrying about the outcome. I mean, you guys, if you could see the amount of paper that goes in my recycle bin because I messed up on something, it's crazy. I should like take pictures. It's okay to mess up. That's part of the process of learning, and using your imagination to think up new designs.
I just wanted to tell a quick story thinking about that. When I was going to do my first card making class, this was before the internet, and I didn't have samples. I didn't have anything to work from. And I went to my sisters and we'd each make a card and hold it up and we'd both go, and then we make the next one until we came to 3 cards that we felt like I could teach. And that brings back such happy memories. I had forgotten that, but it is the fun of being playfulness, you know?
Yep. Yeah, and you can keep some of those cards you don't like as your kind of tutorial, if you will. You know, you can put those in your, see, in fact, this is actually something I want to show you guys. One way that this can help you, when you're taking a class like this, so I like to make a binder, and then I have my tutorials. Whoa, my tutorials are printed out here. So then what I do is in the sheet protector, I just put in my sample card so that you can see, like you can see the bird card here. And then the ones that I've made changes to will just go down in my sheet protector. And now I have it all together to make another card. So a lot of times those cards I mess up and I don't want to send out to somebody, they'll go in my little sheet protector as my sample, or my notes of what not to do for next time. So those can be really helpful. All right, so here's how it's going to work. We have given you a list of supplies, and I'm going to go through step by step and tell you what to put on your card. So we've asked you to grab a card base and then 2 pieces of coordinating cardstock. They can be the same colors or different colors, and a piece of designer series paper, and then a basic white strip, and then an accent piece. And the accent piece could be a wide variety of things. So this is where we're going to start. So we're going to start with the designer series paper and the cardstock. So your first clue, you're going to fold your cardstock for your base. So we have suggested a 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of paper. And you guys can go ahead and craft. I'd love to see the tops of your heads as we're doing this. But when we talk about a card base, when you take your 8.5 by 5.5 and you score it at 4.25, you get what we call kind of a standard size card base here. So that's kind of what we're working from. Now, if you're watching us from another country and you have a different size that you use, go for it. It'll still be a wonderful card. And just modify to the measurements that you need, for your area. So once you've folded your card base, you're going to take your designer series paper and you're going to tape it down on one of your cardstock rectangles. So go ahead and tape the DSP to one of your cardstock rectangles. And this is where I tell you, we need Jeopardy music. I say this every time I do mystery stamping. I need like music in the background. So, but we love seeing the tops of your heads as you are taping your pieces together. And I will go ahead and say, if you were here this morning, go ahead and do it again. You know, and you can make another version because we're going to show our cards later on here. All right, our next clue is now to take your 2 rectangle pieces of cardstock and adhere them to your card front. And this is where you can be creative and decide how you want to apply them. So you have one cardstock that is just plain, and you have another cardstock that has that DSP on it. So go ahead and tape those down to your card front. It's fun with some of you guys. I can see your craft rooms behind you. It's so fun to see the spaces that you're working in. Sometime I think we should do like a Zoom where people just show us where they're crafting.
Yeah, some people are in their kitchen or another room. Yeah, so it's really fun.
Yeah,
and some
other room.
green up, well, so they look like they're in the mountains.
your craft room might be your dining room table. So, or I know that there's some people here who live in like an RV, and so you're crafting on the go. And it's just so fun to see people's faces. All right, so you have folded your card base and you've taped down your DSP on one of those rectangles. And now you've added those two rectangles to your card front, however you wanted to layer those. So now I want you to take the white strip and I want you to stamp some words on it. Or, you know, you might choose to leave it blank, but decide where on your card you want to put that so that you can kind of leave a space for it. I know we heard before that some people like to stamp when the occasion arises, so you might not know what you need that card for right now. But you can still decide where you want to put the sentiment on your card. So stamp your sentiment on the white strip and add it to the card front. And lots of options here, whether you choose to use your glue or your tape or your glue dots or your dimensionals. There's so many different ways that we can add sentiments and cardstock to our cards. So we're going to stamp that sentiment and add it to our card. And then we're going to have one step left. Let's see. I'm going to bring the chat over here. Oh, here we go. Someone said when their son moved out, they took over his bedroom to become your craft room. That's a great way to have a space to hide all your stuff from people to see it. So when Mr. Brown comes to your door, you can stick your boxes away. All right, last clue is add your accent piece and your embellishments.
And someone is saying she's not getting any of the emails. Make sure you've actually registered for the event, because that's how we have your email to send the emails instead of just joining the group. Is that correct, Holly?
Well, everybody has registered here. So what you'll need to do is check your junk folder.
Okay.
Because there's a good chance that the emails are going to your spam folder. Or the other option is that possibly there was a typo when you sent us your email. So email us. I'm going to put this in the chat. I'll write it down here. And you can email us, because that way we will know we have your correct email address. Let's see. See if I can type and talk at the same time. stampingonthebackporch@gmail.com. Vicki, you can email us and make sure that we have your correct email address.
And can I just add, I love that I can jump in with my 2 cents and then have Holly correct me. I just love that. I don't need to have all that knowledge anymore. I try. So thank you, Holly.
Oh, no worries.
Alexa, alarm off.
We tried to make sure that everybody was registered before we got them in the Facebook group. So, all right. Okay, I am seeing less tops of heads, so I think that means that some of you guys are finishing your cards. So I am going to take down the slides. Now, keep in mind, if you miss a step, or if you want to capture these for later, there will be, actually I think the PDF is already posted in the group. So all of these instructions are in the PDF for you, so that you'll be able to use these steps again and again to make more cards. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to share my card. So we're going to start there. I'm going to put this here. Here, I'll go to the side, that way I can make sure I see it. Actually, this is my second card. We'll just do it like this. You got a sneak peek. So my first card, we've got the cardstock going horizontal across the card, and then the DSP and cardstock vertical. And you can see the accent piece there and the sentiment. So just a nice, simple way to add yours. So my accent piece is fussy cut from some paper. And then the second one has those two pieces angled, so just giving a slight variation to how they look visually. And then the accent piece is an oval. That's an oval punch, and just punching a little image out of some designer series paper. And then, of course, the sentiment as well. But what I think you're going to see is how many different ways you could take the steps that I listed and making different cards. So what we want to do is we want to give a chance for some of you guys to share your cards. So what you're going to do, if you want to share your card, it's optional. Hold up your card in front of you. And I'm going to pick a few of you. We're going to bring you up so that we can share your card. I'll start here with Linda Cohoon. So we're going to add you, and then Linda, you can unmute yourself and tell us about your card. So you'll just press unmute so we can hear you. And
can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Good. So my inspiration for this card is the little bluebird paper from Stampin' Up. And I found this flowering paper behind it, and I love purple. And so that's my card.
That's very cute.
I love that mix of papers with the flowers and the bird. They just go so well, and beautiful card.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Who else wants to share their card? All right, Linda. Let's see, Linda G, because I'm afraid I'm going to butcher your last name. So
Gascoigne.
say it one more time, Linda. What's your last name?
Gascoigne.
Gascoigne. Thank you. Let's see your card.
It's just super plain.
Oh, that's cute. I love the colors. It's so bright and fun.
This paper just is so pretty. I love flowers. I'm allergic and can't have them in my house, so I try to put them on cards.
That is gorgeous, and I love those two blues. Just what a bright, colorful, really picks up that paper. That is gorgeous.
That's I think it's midnight. It's
Misty Moonlight, or
it's Tahitian Tide, and that
yes.
I love
Starry
that
Sky.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
Those two together. I'm a blue person. Blue makes me happy.
Not only do we play Spot the Changes, we also play Name That Color. No, I don't know. Gorgeous.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah. It's crooked, but you know, my site is slightly crooked, so
that's okay.
But when I remake it, it will be prettier.
Oh, it's already very pretty. So perfect. Thank you for sharing, Linda. All right, Peggy. If you just want to unmute yourself, Peggy.
All right. Hopefully you can see this and hear me.
Yep, we sure can.
I used the Perennial Lavender DSP and an old little sentiment stamp I had, Happy Birthday, and I just happen to have die cut these little owls out that I stamped quite a while ago, and just put it all together like this, and turned out cute, I think.
Look at those fun colors together too. Oh, I love that. And I love the line drawing of the owl. That is adorable.
That's very cute. All right. So Tina Tate.
Been saying everyone's making such beautiful cards, and I thought that's so true. Now we get to share them.
Yeah. So Tina Tate, if you want to unmute and tell us about your card.
I've been playing with some different cards for some children because they like to get mail also. And I had these little punched, what are the hedgehogs out. And so I was looking for fall type things. So I that's what I went with, some fall colors and the little hedgehog. And then I put another one that I punched just out of a an old paper from a calendar that looked kind of fun. And now I'm ready to make a little note inside to tell them that I'm thinking of them and I enjoy their Bible readings.
Oh,
Oh,
what an
very
awesome
cool.
reason to send a card. But I also love what you're saying. She started with those hedgehogs that she had cut out, and then she looked for paper that they kind of went with to finish a card. What a clever idea, because sometimes we'll have those bits and pieces and then go see what it matches up. I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. All right, Bess, if you want to unmute your sound and we'll take a look at your card. If you want to unmute yourself, Bess. We can't hear you yet.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we are.
I use the Zinnia paper. I just love that paper with the different colors and the purple in it, and just put them at an angle. And I had punched out the Zinnia with the punch, but then I decided to fussy cut it. So I fussy cut it and used the sand from the stamp set, and forgot to bring my bling in the rooms in my office. So I didn't put any bling on it yet, but I will.
You know what I love? You look at that flower as the accent, and it looks like the paper's just fanning out, just like the petals.
Yeah.
It really flows from that flower. What a fun accent.
Well, that was kind of a spontaneous thing.
Yeah, but isn't that fun? I mean, all these things you kind of start discovering, and I thought, oh, I love that idea. You could take something like that and, you know, even take it further, because what a cool concept of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Okay,
Thank you, Bess.
Thank you.
All right, Diana Jacobs, if you want to unmute your sound. And so it's
okay. Are you there?
Yep, we can hear you.
Well, I have to admit that I peeked ahead because I tried to get on the first Zoom. So I looked ahead as to what the results were going to be. But I had everything all cut out to join the first time around. So I just had I had a little extra time to do some extra things. Stamped on my background, and I ran my little second strip here, my base strip, through an embossing folder of trees.
That's gorgeous. Stunning card.
Yeah, that's a beautiful card.
And
thank you.
Fall
I
colors.
love that. I love seeing the fall colors on people's cards.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diana. All right, Judy Miller, I saw that you wanted to share. So if you'll unmute your sound, and then we can see your card. So usually somewhere down towards the bottom, I think, of most screens.
How's that?
There you go. Now we can hear you.
Well, this is my card. Can you see it?
Can you hold it up just a little bit higher?
Higher, to the side. Yeah,
There we go.
okay.
Oh.
A little higher.
Right in front of your face.
Okay.
There we go. There you go.
I have to explain. I came to Iowa 3 weeks ago as a house director at one of the sororities in Iowa City. I know nothing about this place, but I didn't bring any of my card making stuff with me. So I've been to Michael's. No, I've been to Joann's and Hobby Lobby and picked up some basic items because I have a whole house full at home of Stampin' Up stuff.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm trying. I have no stamps, no ink. I'll get some. And then this is just paper that I picked up at the stores. And pre-made cards. Pre-made.
Look what you can do with minimal supplies.
Yeah. So this is what I came up with. And I think it turned out pretty good.
Yes.
I did the one from yesterday. I liked one of them. I didn't like the other one I did. But anyway, I'm having fun with this. And I'm so glad that I get to be a part of this because all at once when I started watching videos again the other day, I got the hankering. I will make cards.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And we're glad to have you here.
I'm trying. And I've got to say, thank you for getting me straightened out on the other stuff a few weeks ago, because I was very confused. But, and I know, Holly, you're in Iowa.
Yeah, I'm a little over an hour from you. So if you need more supplies, just come on by.
I don't need to buy any. I just need mine.
You can just raid my scrap bins.
But we may connect sometime and maybe craft a little bit together, because that would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you, Judy. All right, I see Sandra here. Sandra Rasmussen, if you want to unmute yourself, and then we can see your card.
I think I'm unmuted.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah, I use the Wintry Treetops stamp set and the paper that I can't remember the name of it, with the designer paper with the wood grain. I like animals and nature. I live in northern Minnesota, so it kind of comes natural.
That's very cute.
I'm loving all these cards.
Yeah.
And they're all simple and gorgeous. They're wonderful.
Absolutely. Let's see. I see one more. Vicky, if you want to unmute yourself. Looks like she's got two versions to show us. So, Vicky, if you want to unmute your sound.
Hello?
Oh, now we can hear you.
Okay, so I did two. I did one with you earlier, and I did kind of quickly put together the stuff for a second one in between. My first version was the Christmas card, and I stuck very close to what you had. And the second version, I added extra, I added ribbon. I needed a quick kind of thinking of you type card for someone who's not doing well in the family, and quick colored up a flower from the Love and Strength set.
Those are beautiful.
Are both gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And I wanted, that one with the bells, the Christmas one. I just think, looking at that, if you're someone who likes to make, like, say, a bunch of cards, but you want to be a little different, like even Christmas cards, that basic layout and all the different accents she can put on. So you've got your basic card structure, you change what's on it, and you won't get bored if you don't want to make 50 cards the same. But those are just
I also make insides for all of them, and I also do envelopes.
Fabulous.
Yep. So you got to have all the coordinating pieces. But yeah, Karen, that's a great idea, because I know I get bored making the same card over and over. So it's nice to have options, but still using all the same pieces. So, all right. So we're going to come back here. Well, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who shared your cards. It is so fun to see what you guys are making. I mean, that's part of what we're doing here, is giving you an opportunity to share what you're being creative with. And to get to put some faces to names as you guys are chatting with each other in the Kickstart group. Hopefully, being on a Zoom now, you've been able to put some faces to the names you've been chatting with. So this was our hope for mystery stamping, with the think on your feet, getting confidence, using your imagination, and just being playful with this time. Excuse me. And every month we do this in the All Good Cards Club. So we give you fresh clues, new ideas, and we love seeing your cards just like this on Zoom. So that's why we mixed it up. Instead of just doing all, YouTube lives, we wanted to do some Zooms so that we could see your faces as we craft together. So I want to
think a cool thing about, I just want to say, I think a cool thing about that, if you do come monthly to those, you do get to know the people that show up regularly. I mean, you can just pop in now and then, you don't need to, but it's also a way to really connect faces with names and styles. It's just kind of fun.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And so we want to see your card. I know we didn't get to everybody who might have wanted to share today, but there is a challenge post in the Kickstart group, and you can share your mystery stamping card. Please do. We really want to see what you've created. And that also enters you into the next set of drawings that we'll do tomorrow. If you're not on Facebook, no worries. Just reply to the replay email and share your card that way. So your replay email is actually going to have both of these replays in it so that you can see all of the cards that were shared between the two sessions. Because we will award some more prizes tomorrow to you guys. So let's see, Karen, have we missed anything that we needed to say today?
I don't think so. This was really fun.
Absolutely. So don't forget to come back tomorrow. We'll have another YouTube live at 10 a.m. Central, our last day. So, and honestly, I think it's our best day. So we have so much to pack into tomorrow, and we have another great project to make with you. The supplies are posted in the Kickstart group, so you can prep those and be ready to craft along with us tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central. So thanks so much for being with us again. We'll see you tomorrow.